Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
British Spy Stories Season 5 Kill or Be Killed. Episode 12. Lady Harwood! The voice reaches Gabby's ears as she walks across the marble and gold entrance hall of the Galeries Lafayette department store at 60 Avenue des Champs-Élysées in the centre of Paris. She turns and there is Salvatore Albano, the Nox Ventura partner, who is the reason that she's in this city. As far as Salvatore is concerned, this is a chance encounter. The reality is that this meeting is the result of 3 days of GCHQ tracking this man's movements and hacking his phone. Gabby knew that he'd be at this exact spot, at this exact moment, as he's meeting his mistress for lunch in 2 minutes' time in the Orsan restaurant on the first floor of this vast retail palace. Signore, what a surprise. What brings you to Paris? He says. I have an apartment nearby on the Avenue Montaigne. How long are you staying? His eyes trace the outline of her Ralph Lauren black day dress. I come to Paris in the spring, most years, before going to Monaco for the summer. Are you here on business, Salvatore? I have a number of clients who live in Paris. I think you know that I'm a personal banker to a small elite set of individuals. We didn't get a chance to talk at the chateau, she says. You weren't in favour of my involvement with Nox Ventura, if I recall. He spreads his hands out before him. I am naturally cautious. They both smile. I need to prove my worth, I can see. We can talk over dinner, if you have time, he says. I'd like that. The outside corners of his eyes turn upwards very slightly. She fishes into her bag and hands him her card. My apologies, I have an appointment, he says. Gabby has a microbug nestled in her fingers. As she leans in and places her hand on his shoulder, she leaves the listening device attached to his coat. Is this angry-looking woman your appointment? Gabby nods towards a blonde woman with deep brown eyes, who is approaching them across the hallway. Salvatore spins around. Hello, Salvatore. The woman's eyes flick to Gabby, then back to her lover. He is cool, though, and doesn't give away any indication of discomfort. Florence, let me introduce you to Lady Imogen Harwood. The women shake hands. They won't hold our table, she says. We'd better be going. Salvatore raises his hand in a small wave, and he and his mistress walk off together to the lifts. Gabby pulls out her phone and pushes headphones into each ear to hear the conversation from the bug on Salvatore's coat. Who's she? It's Florence's voice. A business contact. She was beautiful. I hadn't noticed. A lady. Florence isn't satisfied yet. An old British family. Diamonds. Rich? Yes. The conversation is lost then, as they have arrived in the restaurant, and a waiter must have taken his coat, and with it, the bug. In the woods surrounding the Chateau Froissart, Agent Laravel has managed to find a new location for the camper van that has better tree cover than previously, to prevent anyone passing by and seeing where she is parked. She has spent the morning reviewing the video footage from the cameras in the chateau with the GCHQ team who are supporting Operation Oak Hill with analysis and technology. There has been little material so far that is of interest, however. Rose doesn't appear to discuss Nox Ventura matters in the main rooms of the house, She only does that in the basement, which is still an MI6 surveillance blind spot. Laravel needs to go back and plant more devices, but the cellars are only accessible via the door in the back corridor, and then only with an iris scanner that is programmed solely for Rose's eye. She pulls up a map of the chateau's floor layout on the big screen in front of her. The basements were built in the early 1600s as part of the original, smaller house. Then they were extended over the years and now seem to stretch for a mile underground. As far as GCHQ can tell, they extend out from beneath the house and not only under the gardens, but possibly into the woodland too. There's no way to find out without gaining access, and Rose's right eyeball is the only thing that can do that. After 3 hours of staring at the screens and talking on an encrypted video link, Laravel ends the call, takes off her blue light glasses, and presses a hidden button on one side of the comms equipment. It folds in on itself to create distressed drawers and shelves in the van that fit with her cover life as a nomadic hippie. She slams the van door and walks off into the woods. Shafts of sunlight break through the tree cover as she takes a path that leads away from the house. As she passes a large tree, she sees a young woman sitting in a clearing. Before she can step back under cover, the woman turns her head. "That's twice I've seen you," she says in French. There's no option but to act this one out, so Laravel walks towards her. "I'm camped up, over the way." The woman scans Laravel's long skirt and hair braids, designed by MI6 comms branch to fit in with her cover life. "Holiday?" says the woman. "No, I live in a van." "Like a TikToker?" "No, just live in a van." "I'm Sylvie. What's your name?" she says. "Duel." "That's not a name." "It's my name." "Were your parents hippies?" "Kinda," says Laravel. "What do you do?" "Work in the big house, in the kitchen. I like to come out here between shifts. It gets suffocating in there." "Why?" "The chef's always angry." "All chefs are always angry," says Laravel. They both laugh, and Laravel walks over to the woman. She sits down next to her. "Do you live in the house too?" Sylvie nods. "On the top floor. It was built for servants up there, in the roof." They talk on, Laravel aiming to build this relationship as a possible route to gain access to the basement. They talk about Sylvie's life working and living in the chateau, how she got the job, her parents, and her family. Half an hour later, Sylvie looks at her watch. "I need to go. I need to get back. Are you in these woods all night?" "Of course." "Want to meet up later? My shift finishes at 9. You could come up and see my room." As Sylvie walks away through the undergrowth, Laravel's phone buzzes. It's Hans. "Gordon? Enjoying the shagging? We all saw you. I put a camera in that room, did you know?" "The things I do for the country," he jokes. "Are you round now? Rose has gone off to do some business in the basement, so I'm at a loose end for an hour or so." "Pick me up in the car. We can go and have lunch somewhere in the hills." His Maserati stops by a road junction near the woods 10 minutes later, and she slips inside. The V6 engine growls as they set off uphill. Laravel found a mountainside restaurant online that's 15 minutes away, with views over the valley as it stretches to the south. They sit outside in the April day and order beers and sandwiches. "Are you enjoying being a rich man?" she says. "A bit too much." "What's that mean?" He swigs his La Choulet Blanc beer. "It's a great life. Fast car, rich girlfriend, cash to splash." Laravel's eyes narrow, almost imperceptibly. "You fancy her, don't you? She's evil, Gordon. Don't get drawn in." "She's all right." "No, she's not." She seems okay up close." This life we lead, Gordon, it's not real. You know that, says Laravel. You're not Clive bloody Fremont, and I'm not Jewel. It's a job. That's all. We could do different jobs. Are you? Her voice drifts away as their food arrives, and they're silent while the waitress puts down the plates. After the girl has gone, Laravel drops her voice. Are you getting bored with spying, Gordon? No, Jenny, I'm not. His voice still has an edge of frustration that it had a minute ago. You're spiky. What's got into you? She's got to you, hasn't she? He puts food in his mouth to avoid answering. I need to know. We're putting our lives at risk to stop this woman. We've got a pre-approved kill order on her. I could shoot her tomorrow and not go to prison. Are you flaky here, Gordon? Because if you are, you need to tell me, and we need to stop pissing about. All right. He puts his hands up to stop her tirade. It was just a passing thought that my life could be different. What, you living here in the chateau with Madame? And you be the Count of Frossard after her birthday? Is that what you're thinking? He's quieter now. She reaches out and takes his hand. Listen to me, Gordon. I like you. I don't want to see you throw it all away because you've had great sex in Egyptian cotton sheets with the millionairess. She's a criminal. We're either going to destroy her operation or kill her, or both. I don't want to see you get hurt, but you will, if you keep thinking any of this is real. I know, Jenny. I know. He was lucky to get this flat. When Mikael Norgard became an MEP a year ago, the Danish Parliamentary Office in Copenhagen had sent him an email telling him that he can use this place in the Valuva-Saint-Pierre neighbourhood. Of all the apartments owned by the Danish government in Brussels, this one is the best of them. Every Sunday afternoon is the same for him, if he's in Brussels. He catches up on reading the considerable amount of paperwork that is sent to him, either as an MEP or as a member of the Subcommittee on Security and Defence. After a couple of hours, his eyes are getting tired from the documents, and he makes coffee, then stands by the window that has a view across the Parc de Valuva on the opposite side of the road. Families and dog owners are out for an afternoon walk in the mild sunshine. He's not expecting anyone, so when he hears the buzz of his front doorbell from the access panel on the wall, his features screw up into a frown. He likes to keep this address private, and no one knows it apart from his wife, and he'll be very surprised if it's her calling on him. His wife knowing this address is the reason that he's never invited Sabina back here, as they'd end up in bed, and a cold shiver runs through him at the thought of his wife turning up unannounced and finding them between the sheets. Mikael presses the button on the panel. Hello? Mikael, it's Eleanor Royce. I was passing and wondered if you're in. I bought cake. His first thought is how did she get this address? But he dismisses the idea as asking her will seem defensive. He presses the release for the street entrance and unlatches the door to his flat. Mikael puts the kettle on while she ascends the stairs to the 3rd floor. When she arrives, she is wearing a long coat and a miniskirt, and her hair loose. They sit at a round dining table, and she produces a chocolate cake from the Pierre Macalini shop on the Rue de Tongue. I know you like chocolate cake, she says. How do you know that? It pays to know colleagues, Mikael. Don't you think? After he takes a bite of the cake, he makes a decision to come straight out with what he needs to say. Eleanor, I'm not going to be in a position to help you. She acts out a little surprised look and moves coquettishly. Then she frowns. Oh, that is a problem. There are no companies who need investment in Denmark, of the sort that you described.
That's not true, Mikhail. There are many, she says. Did I misunderstand the extent of your personal network? My research showed that you're a central figure in pushing for industrial expansion in Esbjerg and Siboren. Was I wrong?
You're right, Eleanor. These towns are ripe for expansion. Maybe I'm not well connected enough.
The other matter we discussed that you could personally benefit from? The military insights from your connections in Copenhagen and here. Do you see more opportunity there?
He takes a deep breath out. I'm afraid not.
We do have a problem then.
Her face is dead serious, suddenly.
What's the attitude in your constituency about extramarital affairs?
Danes are famously liberal, unlike you English.
Good,
she says.
Then news of your relationship with Sabina Bosco won't be met with shock back home, or here in the Parliament, or in your political party. But your party leader is a moralistic man, isn't he?
We have no plans to go public, so it's not an issue. He says one of the lines that he has been practicing since Dames told him that Eleanor should be kept well away from. There's a lull in their conversation, and she drinks some tea.
You see, it's not in your control, Mikhail. We have a video of you.
He looks bemused. I'm on the television most days, Eleanor. There are thousands of videos of me. Look, I really need to finish reading my papers for next week.
This is not a video that you'd see on TV. It would likely be contrary to the broadcast code in Belgium. Your mistake was using the same hotel each time to fuck your girlfriend. We put a camera behind the mirror.
Eleanor hasn't changed her demeanour, despite the tone of her words becoming threats.
Do you want to see it?
She smiles, but he doesn't.
What's going to happen is you're going to get me a copy of this document.
She hands him a small piece of card. On one side, printed in grey ink, in Danish, are the words FCH 34/2.5. 5-year Danish Ministry of Defence contracts and military equipment specifications. That's restricted, he says, and looks directly at her. But she holds his gaze with ease.
It is,
she says. So I can't give you a copy, Eleanor. His voice tone shows the first signs of anger.
Oh dear, I'll give you a week, Mikhail. Or we publish the video of you and Mrs. Bosco in flagrante. We have her husband's email address and your dear wife's as well. It will go online to all of the social media sites too.
She stands up. Despite planning the words he would say to this woman, he has no clever response to her statement.
Enjoy the rest of the cake, Mikhail. I'll show myself out. Bye.
He hears the door close behind him and realizes that his hand is shaking.